expensive.
Maybe it's the delay.
I like drinking beers that taste good when they're warm.
Ooh, that's the hot setup with
the brown beers,
nut
the dark
brown?
beers. Yeah.
Okay, that looks like something.
Yeah, it totally tastes better.
Oh no, we do have a delay.
So is that plugged into a USB? Is this plugged into a USB?
No, it's an old monitor. This is ancient. They don't.
Jeff H.
But
What's
how
up?
How's it go from that to this?
Julian, what's going down, man?
How is this going from this to this? It's not. This is going from this to this. This is going from this to this because the other jack didn't work, and we had to scramble.
Paint Gun Massacre.
And had to scramble.
Mike, do you know the guys at Paint Gun Massacre in New Brunswick, Canada?
No, I can't say that rings a bell.
I think if anyone should know someone called Paint Gun Massacre, it would be you.
I should know those guys. That's for sure. A cool name like that.
I would like everyone to know that I have not switched brands. This beer just showed up in the fridge. I think you brought it, right?
My sister bought it, a while ago, and it was my dad's house.
Thank you, Beth.
Yeah, she doesn't watch these.
She doesn't watch them.
She does not watch these, Matt.
Canada, all right. Hello. Lots of people tuning in. This is cool. So we're gonna let everyone kind of get caught up, and then right at 4 o'clock Mountain Time, we'll get going in real life. That's gonna throw me off even more because because now that's the actual.
But if you want to let us get a close up of something, you can see what's going on.
Okay, there we go. That's a good idea. Carrie Ann's on point.
But what's gonna happen though is that I'm gonna be looking over here all the time.
Not if you pick something up and want to give people a close up. Then you'll be looking over here and seeing.
She's a regular Spielberg.
Freaking Steven Spielberg.
Don't question me.
So we don't have a whole lot. We're not actually starting the cast right yet. Now I want to talk about how sucky it is that we're in whatever that we had to spring forward. I don't care about daylight savings time or regular time. I don't hate one or the other. I hate springing forward. I'll fall back as much as you want, but I hate springing forward.
You're all about
rocks.
Extra hours of sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got an hour less on my weekend.
I'm just the opposite of you, man.
You like having less?
I like having more daylight during the day because
that doesn't bother me. I don't care. Just keep
hour.
It. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Just leave it at something.
Yeah, exactly. Just
pick
that's
one.
what I like about living in Arizona because you never had that, man. And then I come up here and it's like
that sucks.
Twice a year.
Yeah.
But I quickly adjusted this one because I embrace the duration of light during the day.
Greetings from Norway. Look at that. We got a Norway. Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right. Hello, Norway. Velde bra.
What's that?
Isn't Gunnar from Norway?
Iceland.
Iceland.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm bad at geography.
Cheddar Kung Pao wants his hour back. Yes. You know what? And the best part about
back in 8 months
about falling back is you actually time travel in the right direction. So if you make a really egregious error at 2 o'clock in the morning on the day that you fall back, you can unfuck that.
Why 2 o'clock in the morning? You know?
Yeah. Why isn't it at 3 in the afternoon?
Bar time?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? It didn't always used to be 2 o'clock, was it?
I thought it was midnight.
No, it's always 2 because typically bars close at 2. So once the clock hits 2, the bars are closed. You don't go back and get an extra hour.
Well, I remember one time playing a bar on this particular day. And they made us play an extra hour that night.
No, that's completely and totally illegal.
They did. No. Jamming Joe's in Arvada, man.
Jamming Joe's?
Jamming Joe's.
Yeah, man. An extra hour.
That's funny.
You've only played 2 sets by our
We were going to do like the Blues Brothers version of, the same thing all the way through. Cowboy song or something over and over, but
20-minute jams. Yeah, sweet.
Whatever happened to Jamming Joe?
I think Jamming Joe's is a Walmart now, aren't they?
Is it?
What about the man himself?
All right, so hey everybody, it's 4 o'clock and we are officially live at the. Thank you for watching the Texas Toast Guitars. Stop doing that. Live chat, and this is our very first one with a special guest, and we have a really cool special guest, our good friend. My burp. Our good friend and paint guru to my right, your left, Mike Learn, and he's with us, and he is here to answer all of your questions on guitar building, guitar painting, rocking out, And I've got a bunch of questions that are going to be questions that I ask everyone in these things as we go. So what's going to be cool is we're going to ask a lot of people these same binary questions, and you'll get to know, what Mike Learn likes. Ford or Chevy, 45 or 9mm. Well, who knows what it's going to be,
Sure.
but it's going to be stuff like that. So, so we're really happy to have Mike here in our shop live. And we even cleaned up a little bitty bit. I don't know if you noticed, but
I did.
yeah.
I did. First thing I noticed when I came in, you had more people in here.
Yep.
More equipment.
Yep.
And somehow you've efficiently managed every square inch of this place. I'm always amazed.
I think we could fit another pin router if we really shoehorned it in.
I need more graph paper.
For everyone on Patreon, we have a bunch of new camera equipment, and that's where your Patreon dollars have gone for this month. We upgraded a lot of the, let's call it the Texas Toast Studio. It's not quite, we're not quite there yet, but does, so everyone watching, does the picture look any better? Does the sound any better? Let me know, and we'll see how it's working out. But let's get right to it. So if you guys have any questions for Mike Learn, we got some already. Looks like Mrs. Texas Toast is letting me know.
There's been more than one question about how long do you dry your wood, and how dry does the wood have to be? Someone said 1 to 25 years to cure wood, depending on wood type, place, and architecture.
Gosh, well, that would be if you're air drying, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well,
25 years does seem a little lengthy.
I mean,
well, if you don't have a
exactly,
kiln, then yeah.
Yeah.
But here in Colorado, obviously, we're lucky to live in.
Well, in certain woods,
I don't know if anyone can hear Mrs. Texas Toast, who's talking in the back and actually has a degree in woodology.
From the University of Moscow.
From the University of Moscow, Idaho.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a real thing. So, Cheddar Kung Pao says the video quality does look better. Thank you, amigo. So there's an ideal moisture content for lumber, for making guitars and for making cabinets and for making whatever. You got to decide what that is. What do you normally do for, do you ever use guitar wood experts, Mike?
No, I have actually.
You actually have?
Yeah, I have
Dan
some,
came out.
Yeah, I have some of the tops that I've gotten from him and some neck wood. Typically I've always been going by this probably the last 20, 30 years. Is like, I'll go in and buy some 8/4 stuff.
Okay.
And of course it's kiln dried, say maybe 7 to 10%, somewhere in there.
And you don't know how long it's been sitting there, especially maple. Yeah.
So, but I usually go by the general rule of 1 year per inch of thickness. So the stuff that I buy, it will sit in my climate controlled little closet.
That's right. You have that, like that kind of, that area. It's, I was gonna say nook or cranny.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
kind of like a humidor for wood.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's not really. It's just I get a lot of moisture in the air. Kind of, it doesn't dry it out, which is a very dry climate here in Colorado.
Do you sticker your wood before you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything under 4/4 gets stickered. 8/4, I don't bother. Because I get it in 4-foot lengths, or I'll chop it down to 4-foot lengths to have it manageable. But I generally, sit on this stuff for, like the 4/4 stuff for necks. I sit on it for a year before I turn it into a neck, even though it's kiln dried. I mean,
that's one of the nice things about torrefied lumber is it's ready to go as is. You can start working it immediately. Then one of the bad things about it is it's fragile as fuck. So yeah.
Well, I haven't had any problems with, especially quarter sawn. Like if you get in some of the crazier maples for the necks and stuff like that, you got the quilts and, and the crazy curly and stuff. That stuff, it seems to me, it takes a little bit longer than a straight grain quarter sawn piece of wood because of the way the grain structure is in the wood. And it has a tendency to not pass the moisture as easily as
now, what about,
grain.
So I did a video a while back ago talking about what people think of as quarter sawn, and what they really mean is vertical grain.
Right.
So, but I wonder, because quarter sawn is the reason the word sawn is in there is because of the way that the lumber is actually cut. It's not necessarily always vertical, and vertical grain lumber is not necessarily always quarter sawn.
That's true.
I wonder, do you think this is really getting into the weeds on nerdy guitar maker shit? But what do you think about that?
No, I'm ready to correct whatever you say.
Well, I think you make a very valid point. I think I think they create a name like quarter-sawn as an identifier.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So people can recognize that the grain's going this direction, rather than trying to describe how the log was rotated or how it was cut.
Well, I always say vertical grain, and however we arrived at that is what. Yeah.
Because I mean, I'll use a lot of stuff that's slab cut,
Mhm.
and I just rotate it 90 degrees
Yeah.
when I'm doing a composite neck.
Or if you get 12 quarter lumber, then you can orient it however you want, and
exactly.
it's And by the way, if you're, I bought a bunch of 12 quarter maple, and I was going to make necks with it, and the drying rate was horrible, and I ended up having to scrap a bunch of it. Remember that? It was just loaded with checks and cracks. So yeah,
bummer.
But if you, when in doubt, torrefied lumber, I guess. I don't know. Or you got to figure it out. What are you supposed? I bet you right around 5 to 7% moisture content for guitars. Is
That's a good aim point.
So
I'm thinking we have some people in other countries. In
comments, what time is it in other countries? Buongiorno.
Did you have to cut the top off the blanket to
Yeah.
But I think that there's some translation issues going on in some comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do our best.
We're gonna try.
Yeah, I can't.
Someone digs the modern. I'm seeing. So I have some questions for you, Mike.
Alrighty, lay it on me.
Here's some things that we're going to talk about while you're here. And one of them is learn guitars and learn airbrush. Is that you have a brand new website?
Right.
And it is learnguitars.com or
no, it's actually mikelearn.com, but I have a redirect from Learn Guitars because I had so many websites and so many portals, and it was just so difficult to keep up with updates. So I changed to a WordPress website so I could easily integrate my feeds from Instagram or Facebook. It takes the images that I post there as well.
So it like automatically loads them?
Yeah, it automatically brings them up forward. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's I kind of like I'm doing so many different things these days that I kind of just decided to just go with like Mike Learn Studios as
let's use the Wayback Machine.
Okay.
So you've been doing this. How long have you been making guitars, and how long have you been? I already know the answer. How long have you been airbrushing stuff? And again, I already know the answer, but not everybody watching is going to know. So
I built my first guitar in my sophomore year in high school, and I started airbrushing when I was about 10 years old. Started airbrushing model airplanes.
I think you got a pretty good hand on it.
I'm trying.
By now, you're really coming along.
I tell you, it's something you still gotta, you gotta keep your chops up on it too. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I don't have any debilitating hand injuries or anything. But where you grow as you mature is mentally and how you process the images in your mind.
Yeah.
How you come up with ideas.
Do you still have any of those videos where you're creating from within video that you gave Carrie Ann and I one? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You gave Mrs. Texas Toast and I that video, and we watched it, and that
Don't
was
act like you haven't mentioned me.
And it was amazing. Like, did you ever see that? Mike basically just like totally freehands this whole picture of him with all these naked like sprites all over the place, and I'm like, dang, I would totally jack off to those if Carrie Ann was. Mrs. Texas.
I pretty much hate people like Mike Learn that can just pull stuff from their brain from the air to your head.
I know, and then it's like, boop, done.
Like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing that this is color, and he starts with yellow, and I'm like,
what?
And then I'm gonna do this over it, and it's over it, and it comes out to this totally different thing. It's like this Thomas Kincaid painting or something, with all these layers of colors. And I'm like, how does your brain function like that?
Bob Quigley, I see Bob. Hey, but back in the old days, you were on one of the Discovery Channel shows when it was the motorcycle channel. Yeah. Right? You worked at Bourget at the time?
For a few different.
You did a bunch of stuff. Okay.
I did a bunch of bikes for Roger and Jim Nassy during the 90s, early 2000s, before the whole industry kind of imploded on itself with stupidity. And, and then, we did like unique whips. I did a show with a guy named Ron Fleener.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then did American Guns.
You did American Guns?
I did 2 episodes with those guys.
Was that Rich Wyatt or the other guy?
Did you get to go in and
I'm still waiting to get paid for the work that I did.
You might be right.
You know what? So is the IRS.
Yeah, I bet.
Paid too, so.
Here's the thing.
think I saw one of those. It was either I saw it on YouTube or I saw, but yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember.
Now, hold on. I want. Let me just.
Whatever.
Here's the thing. Rich Wyatt and I have nothing but good history together. But I am in no way condoning anyone's business practices or anyone's lack of business.
I'll bet you most people don't know Rich Wyatt from Wyatt Herb.
Well, all I know is I don't like Aurora cops.
Yeah, well, all right, anyway, I've had nothing but good dealings with Rich, and Rich is still a buddy of mine.
I thought he was quite nice.
He's very charming.
I thought he was, I was really surprised the stuff that happened to him. I was pretty shocked.
I was a little bit flabbergasted by that too.
I think,
but anyway. But here's the thing. Whether or not,
of him.
yeah, I think they did too. Here's the thing. Whatever anybody else thinks of Rich, I have nothing but good things to say about Rich. So anyway, what about guitar companies? Who you worked for? BC Rich, Fender, Jackson, all those dudes?
Yeah, man. Throughout the years, I've been fortunate to work with a lot of corporate guitar companies, and one of the ones I'm more frequently working with these days is D'Angelico, and I've been Jackson changed their whole platform of their marketing department, and all of a sudden the marketing department pretty much is controlling all things they deem cool. And so
that sucks. Really?
And I think they're just playing. They had to get caught up in a lot of orders, so they're not like experimenting in a creative direction with artists like myself anymore, including Craig Frazier and Dan Lawrence.
How much of that though is that the industry for custom painted, like Boris Karloff painted guitars is just sort of not anyone's necessarily into that anymore? I don't know.
Well, the thing of it is, nobody wants to pay the time that it takes to do this stuff when we have media out there where people just get vinyl printed on stuff and and they're clearing over top of it and laminating it. It's very unlike what you guys are doing with the material, because it's
very like that actually. Because,
in some regards, but that came way before vinyl technology. That technology was embraced in the 60s. You guys are doing a much better job of it than we're not the first guys to put fabric on a guitar. Like Brett had a ESP with a fabric back in the 80s, right? Yeah. Been around for a while.
So, and if Alan is watching, Alan, we got that snakeskin fabric for your Fernandez, and it's boss. It is so fucking cool. It's gonna be killer dilla. What? No, I want another beer though.
No.
Someone actually just made a comment. Julian Suarez, cool beard, more beer.
Thank you.
He's talking about me. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the luckiest boy in the whole world.
I'm the luckiest boy at school.
But all those guys kind of changed direction. BC Rich, they've gone through a whole new ownership right now. So I'm waiting.
Who even runs BC Rich?
Now that Hanser has gotten rid of them, I talked to one of their big cheeses that used to be over there, Tim, and he said that the new owners are going to be coming forward with the product, and
cool.
They didn't make Winter NAMM.
We didn't see them there, yeah.
Yeah, but he says that things look good for a restart on the brand name, and
cool.
I'm hoping that I get a call sometime, but I paint BC Riches all the time.
I hope they reintroduce the BC Rich Seagull.
The Seagull? I'm not familiar
with that. It's the dumbest way. It's like the Les Paul with the point on the top. Yeah, I love it. It's so bad. It's the BC Rich.
Point?
It's the BC Rich Moderne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because like everybody recognizes BC Rich as the wacky guitar company, but you probably met Bernie Rico. That dude's a classical guitar maker. He was.
Well,
I mean, that dude knew, and all the guys that he had come in from Mexico, those dudes were classical guitar makers.
Some of those guys that he had back in the day, they managed really well with a sharp knife.
Yeah,
that they could plow through wood, and that company produced a lot of great luthiers and a lot of guys who are out there doing great things today, and it's always sad for guys our age to see companies like that kind of, where did they go?
Hamer's a big one for me because I've always loved Hamer's, and
Hamer was my first custom shop order. I ordered a guitar. It was identical to the Californian. And
there's a Californian out in the spray booth right now. That
6 months later, I start seeing Californians market, and I saw Joel one year, and I said, I think I might have been responsible for the first Californian.
Does yours have the Strat Jack on the side?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
No.
So you had a really prototypey one.
It was an end jack on the side of it, but it wasn't a Strat jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was basically, I couldn't afford a Jackson custom shop.
Oh.
And Hamer was very reasonable, and I got a discount because I was working in Eastern Pennsylvania at the time. And the guy that owned the music store was a party buddy with the lead singer of the band. So he gave me a good price.
Hey, that's a
I
nice
had it.
segue into your band, Lords of Distortion. You
Yes.
guys have all new drummer because your old drummer is now the front man.
Yes, Nate used to sing.
Wait, no one knows who Nate is. You
Right.
can't just say Nate. I know who you mean, but
Right,
yeah.
right. Well, Nate, our drummer and singer, he is Kip Winger's brother. So it's Nate Winger. And he started to have he blew out his knee.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he blew out his knee and he couldn't play drums. And then I took a break after my daughter's motorcycle accident. I said, guys, I just need to shut down for a little while. So we decided moving forward that we were going to bring Nate out front and get another drummer. So we're working on that right now.
That dude, like when I hang out with you guys and Nate's there, I like pee my pants. I'm laughing so hard.
Hey,
dude.
hey,
He's hilarious.
What?
Douchey sushi.
Douchey sushi. So yeah, one day we were playing a show together, and your guitar player or your bass player at the time went somewhere,
To the
and
sushi place
yeah,
next
Nate's
The
like
toes-
he's
the toes-
he's
Toe
getting
tap.
and Nate's like he's at the sushi place, and I go, did he go to douchey sushi?
Oh my
And he was
God.
like, he's like, oh, that's so fucking funny, and he's like running around, hey, douchey sushi.
Yeah, Nate's a really good cat. We work
He's
well
fun,
together
man. He's really
creatively.
fun. Cool dude.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some more shows with the Hawk Attack, man. Again, I think that
Absolutely.
Denver is ready once again.
Ready for 50-year-old rock
Yeah.
with nobody there.
He also has the best band intro ever. My name is Nate Winger, and I just ate an edible.
That's right.
Yeah. Probably more than one.
That's our Nate
and
Winger
there's one.
stories.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of good intros.
And I just had an edible. 2, 3, 4.
Well, here's a comment that's totally off topic.
All right, here we
and
go.
I really
All right.
hope it's true. Coastal Eddie says, greetings from the International Space Station.
No way.
Does he have a guitar up there?
I hope so. Eddie, you got a guitar up there or what?
That's cool.
All right, well, here's a good debate comment / question.
I've got a bunch more questions specifically for Mike, but I told him when we first started that this usually degenerates into the Wild West. Could be 5 minutes, could be 35
I think we're
minutes.
4
Well, I
minutes, 35 seconds
Yeah.
in.
I think that this is a really good.
All right, here we go. Well, this is
Okay.
open up the questions for Mike.
This is good banter. So, do you choose specific woods for bass and other woods for guitar, or do you search specific characteristics inside a plank that would make it better for bass than guitar?
I don't.
I leave it up to the customer. If the customer wants something, he's paying me for it. He's done a certain amount of research or has a certain amount of belief in what's going to give him the best
A
instrument.
lot of people are
And I
very
try to provide them
steadfast
with the
in,
security.
It's gotta be this. It's
Yeah.
gotta be this.
It's
Knock on the wood.
that's my thing. If somebody wants that, there's no first cool to that. That is to say, as far as I'm concerned, there's no way that you can quantify that from one person to the next. You can't say this is white and this is brown. Everybody can agree on that. This is $100. This is $300. Everyone can agree on that. But I want this chunk of wood for a bass and this chunk a little bit down on the same board. That to me makes a guitar. That's second cool stuff. And if you like it, happy meal.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't care, then I don't give a toss.
I mean, bass players seem to be a completely different market than guitar players.
Mhm.
They're more into the fruity tooty woods for like
It's okay, I think
neck
it's
builds
all right.
and compositions, and stuff like wangy and
Yeah.
Blackwood.
Well, I think guitar players are just very traditional,
right. I agree.
and bass players want to kind of push the envelope a little bit.
Well, and
Or guys who like headless guitars.
Well, yeah, I'm not a headless guitar guy, but I think
I
bass players
Mike
are.
likes heck.
Hey, oh, ting. I think bass players are more defined on what they want than guitar players, because I build both bass and guitars, and I find that my bass customers know what they want before they come in to see me.
Yeah.
The guitarists are oftentimes, what do you suggest?
Yeah.
And I'll, what do you do? What do you play? What do you like?
Do you want it light? Do you want it
Yeah,
funky?
exactly. Do you have back problems? You bust out a 2-pound Polonia body at that point, but Yeah, I just always refer to what the customer wants. That's the bottom line. If it's something that's like, hey, I like, I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I'll say that and suggest something, and we'll usually find somewhere in the middle of the road. I'm just getting so to the point of like, trying to figure out what people want all the time. When you build spec instruments, you're building it thinking someone's gonna love this. So
and someone will.
It's just.
But I want this in mahogany.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So that's where it curbs you after a while. You're getting all uber creative and stuff, and then you just come back to reality that you just got to find a customer who knows what he wants, and he's gonna pay you to build what that is.
One of the things that we recently did was we went to the Red Rocks Community College has a guitar building program, and I went down there and taught a class with Steve from Maximum Guitars, who's the instructor down there. Cool guy, and we'll probably have him on, do one of these too. But the guys there were real into, they're all going to be the next Paul Reed Smith. Mm-hmm. And I know how that was because that's how I was in the 80s. Now it's like a whole, the simpler you make it, the better it is. Mm-hmm. Because while a bunch of Padauk tops and swamp ash bodies and Wenge necks with bloodwood stripes, man, that's really cool until you have to do it 200 times. And then it's like, then it's pretty obvious why Gibson uses mahogany.
Yeah.
Oh, it's easy to machine, and yeah. So yeah. Mrs. Texas Toast has this shit-eating grin, and something's up. What do you got?
Yeah, they keep laughing at us.
Ha ha! You guys are
We're not laughing at you.
You're laughing.
Yeah, you're laughing at the comments, but the comments are poking fun at us.
There's Steve
like,
Areno.
Chris looks like a lawyer.
So I want everyone to know that the camera is pointing at a screen that's got like a 1 minute delay. Yeah. So all I'm seeing is me going like this right now.
And all I need is an adapter.
An adapter? All right.
Most live videos do have a delay of some sort.
Well,
but I should be able to see it not delayed,
monkey. It's going to be plugged into this.
Yeah, you want to see the camera, not the feed.
Carrie Ann logged into the same channel as.
It's all right.
Old laptop. He's got the new.
So are there some questions from Mike Learn that someone's asking that don't have to do with his beard?
And and Mike Learn is a painting machine. He can tell you anything you want to know about.
That's right. I am like bookmarked by paint dudes, and I'm like, I can spray sealer that gets all sanded down. And these guys can like shoot paint and clear, and it's like glass, and I do it, and it looks like a bunch of turds.
And people are always like, man, Chris has got some really good control. I'm like, no,
you ain't shit.
Yeah, you should see what Mike does. Yeah. I can dial the gun into a narrow pattern.
I'm telling you, man.
Spray somewhat evenly.
Mike can do airbrush boobs.
Even these.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a comment about mermaid airbrush titties.
Yes, I would do that. I've had crazier things requested
like
than
a Lords of
mermaids.
Acid CD cover.
I had a guy who was married to Jenna Jameson.
Oh.
Was it Jesse James? No. Oh no, he was married to that other chick.
It was it was a motorcycle we were building for him, and Jim Nasty was building the bike, and he wanted all these pornographic pictures of his wife on the bike, and and there was one I refused to do. I said, dude, I just such bad taste.
Beavis. Dude, what if I wanted something in bad taste? You do that for me.
Well,
right? Yeah.
I know it wouldn't go past this room. But people are amazing what they'll pay you for sometimes.
I still want to do the flashlight guitar, and maybe that's the thing where we let you do.
And a little place to put your weed.
There's no weed. It's a place to put your dick.
Well, and in addition to a little place to stash your weed, the stash box.
But I don't smoke weed. What do I need? Yeah.
Listen, you can buy weed.
All-encompassing.
Like I have to have something for weed.
Yeah.
What?
Got a spot for your wallet.
Challenge Joe Dirt. You
got a
can buy
little
weed
coin
in a
purse
vending
for your
machine in
change.
Denver. There should be a weed stash in the guitar.
Oh, all right. What do you got for? Does anyone have any?
Learn,
all right, for Mike Learn, we got a real question here.
So Stan from Australia says those guitars in the
Hey, you Tulsa!
Chum.
Right then. My
are,
Australian is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
It's very cockney.
Those guitars in the background are awesome. They look like they're old block style prints, and everyone here has seen your fabric top, so I'm assuming that's talking about your guitar, Mike.
License plate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mike
How
brought
are
some
they
guitars
done?
to-
Love it. Like, yeah. How
All
are they
right.
done?
Well, I did that. I've been doing classes for an organization called Airbrush Art Circus.
I'm glad we're talking about this because that's on my list of things
Oh,
to
cool.
talk about. Yeah.
So
And by the way, the camera's right there.
perfect.
I know you're talking to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, all right.
I'm-
I'm sorry.
I'm so confused.
So this guitar is actually
Relax.
Grab it like a rabbit.
it's actually Colorado license plates, and it's on top of an ML kit that I get from Discount Musician.
Everyone, I
teach
saw a
the
bunch of
classes
things
with.
about like that's a cool looking ML. I'm like, what the fuck is the ML? Is that
Mike
like
Learn.
stand for Mike Learn? No, it's
No,
this guitar.
yeah.
That's the Gene model.
No.
That's a cool looking
Oh,
Mike
that's what I
Learn.
got too.
What does that stand for?
I don't know.
Mike
Quite
Learn.
honestly, now it's Mike Learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just
Can
laminated
you see
with a construction adhesive. It's pressed down for about 24 hours, and then trimmed up, and then binding all around the edge. But it looks really cool in the lights because
Good
it's got
boss.
that 3M Scotch light on it. So
What's
like
3M Scotch?
you know, like when you go down the road on a highway sign, your light
No
hit at the red end and
shit.
closes,
That's
yeah.
cool.
So-
Oh, like on those registration.
Is that why you
stickers.
laminated it?
What's that?
Is that why you laminated it? Was just to use that product?
No, I wanted to do something. I saw a guitar years ago that had license plate on it, and I
Uh-huh.
kind of thought that was
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
How do you cut it? Is it a regular blade or do you need a special?
I rate in the router, man. It's real thin mill aluminum. I run it right around with the wood. The Texas one that I got, it actually is steel. The hardest part is re-indexing, the cleaning out your routes for your. Can you
Oh,
hear
so the
that
old
one?
school ones are made of steel?
This
Yeah.
this one's the Texas one, y'all.
This is 1966, but this was a left-handed guitar that I flipped over and did the route work on it to convert it to a right-hander. But these are steel plates. They're 53 years old. Yeah. I had to do quick math on the fly, brother.
Quick math.
You kept saying 66, and I kept thinking that was the body, and I'm like, I don't think that body's that old, Mike.
69, dude.
99 or
Yeah.
66, whichever way you want to spin it.
Yeah.
But
So are you
going?
you're gonna bind this, or you're just gonna
Yeah.
cut all the shit?
I
when
got
you play
I got a 1/2-inch end mill
it? Oh,
from Bridgeport
perfect.
that has an upward cut, and I can do it in
Do
020
you use your
increments.
beloved pin router to do
Damn
that?
straight, brother. Pin routers rule.
Yep.
But-
Do you have a special name for yours?
Not yet.
Does your
Right.
wife get upset when you talk about your
I
pin
try.
router?
No. She just gets worried when I
'Cause
get all
mine
excited
does.
about wood. Thanks, brother. So, anyways, license plate guitars. I
Let's
just have a fetish with guitars that you can't screw up playing.
let's talk about the Art Circus guitars because my friend, and you're gonna meet this guy and you're gonna dig this dude. It's Jim Fuller from Rival Dynamics. Was really interested in the Art Circus guitars. Tell us a little bit about what that is and how unbelievably fast you go from lumber to rock and roll guitar. It's like that. It's unreal.
Well, the Art Circus is a program that we designed called Custom Guitar A to Z, and we had these kits supplied by Bargain Musician. They were very good kits. They're very well machined. I've been very impressed with the quality. So students pay $775 for this class for 4 days.
Pretty good because you get a guitar at the end of the deal, right? Yeah.
Guitar.
Seems borderline cheap.
But it's not just some guitar kit. It's got like the Mike Learn fucking super cool graphic package.
Yeah, I'm training people to go from bare wood, and we're picking out different designs each class where we are, different parts of the country, and we paint them. I train them how to use vinyl masking, how to use the sealers, how to sand the wood, do all the paint work, all the airbrush work.
So how long does that take? About 3 weeks?
No, we do it in 3.5 days.
3 days?
3.5 days.
How the fuck do you do that?
It's crazy, dude. We use a UV accelerant.
Look at the
Materials.
Shit, man. If I had like a guitar that was ready to go, it'd take me 3 days just to fucking bolt all the shit onto it and make sure it like went blink.
I know.
blink,
Well,
blink.
that's the thing. At the end of the last day of class, the following day goes a half day, and there's this goodbye ceremonies, and everybody
Mhm.
wraps up, and we clean up. But that last half day is adjusting
go
truss
for it.
rods. The night before, strings get on it, and everybody's like, "Okay, we got to do this." But prior to that, we're using all water-based materials too. So everything dries relatively quick. We've been working with a bunch of different stuff, but I've actually had to design the program and the art that we do on the guitars to fit within the parameters of the time we do have.
So, but like the first one, it was all like Les Paul shapes, right?
Right.
And they had the kind of the P38 Mustang
Warbird
flavor.
style.
Yeah. And then, but this time I saw about which the ML styles was that, and then there was one Les Paul style.
We did the Razorback style Dimebag because it was a tribute to Daryl.
Yeah.
But other students wanted to have the Les Paul, so we have an assembly of kits now.
Dude, 3 days?
3.5
That's
days. Yeah.
fucking unreal.
Did you not keep up with the progress report?
No, but it just
Dude, it's crazy.
And the work that they put out is
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
The students really are just amazing what they do, because I get students who are guitar builders or guitar guys, never airbrushed ever in their life. And then I get, airbrush guys who never messed with a guitar in their life. So,
so Jim Fuller's totally into it. And he's, I think I would bet you that Jim will want to do one.
oh, yeah, Jim should. We had talked about doing Vegas. Ooh. So if that is the case, Jim needs to get a hold of us when we do it, or come down to Texas.
Yep.
They're pretty gun friendly down there.
But Jim goes to Texas a lot too. So yeah. Next time he comes out here, you should be here when he hangs out, because
I'd love to.
He's going to put the Modern together, and he's going to send out his. He has this Flying V that he had built in the '80s when he was playing out in LA, and we saw it when Chris and I went out there and hung out with him and Karen. And I'm looking at this V, and the neck's bad and needs to be redone. We're going to redo the neck for him. But I'm like, who's Jimmy Lane? He's like, well, that's my stage name that I used to go by.
Did you ever have a stage name besides Ayatollah Rock and Roll?
No, Steve, Dr. Aquafresh and Steve Awesome.
Dr. Aquafresh? That's great, man.
And Steve Awesome.
That's awesome.
You still have that microphone that says Dr.
Dr. Aquafresh.
I ran with Owen Money for a little while. I got that from Dave Mustaine. I thought that was so cool.
So you've done. So let's talk about that. This is a nice segue into. You've done a lot of album covers for people too. Yes.
Yeah, I do a lot of album covers still. Actually, I'm still doing a lot of metal bands. I'm doing a kind of a contemporary country band right now out of the hills in Colorado for a guy named Gary Dunn.
You ain't shit in Denver unless you put your old country band back together.
That's right, brother. But yeah, I enjoy that stuff. I love doing the artwork, man. The Megadeth album cover was really cool.
You did a Megadeth one.
Yeah. System Has Failed.
Okay.
Yeah, 2004, I must say it was. And that's a really interesting story.
Well, we're all here, Mike.
Oh, we're out of time. Sorry, Mike. Next time.
I'll see you guys next week. But no, the funny thing was I painted this motorcycle. I'll try to be as brief as possible.
No, fuck it. Just go for it.
I painted a bike for Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it was being, given away at Wayne Newton's ranch in Scottsdale. And
the Donkashane Ranch?
Could have been. It was the most amazing ranch you've ever seen. It had total Western India mosaics throughout the whole thing. I mean, it's so extravagant.
Just like Vegas Vacation.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got to sit at the table with the Dave Mustaine and Wayne Newton. And
oh my God! It's a collection of people.
Yeah, I was like. But my friend Chris Olson, he got me into it, and so I was talking to Dave. We were talking about the whole Jackson thing, and I was working with Jackson Guitars at the time, and he was mentioning that he was going to purchase it at one point in time, and it decided not to. But
wait, Dave Mustaine was going to purchase the Donkashane Ranch?
No, Jackson Guitars. He was actually
really
buying a Jackson and move forward with it.
That's cool.
And then I had my motorcycle out in the parking lot at the end of the event, and I had it parked up against the building where the valet was bringing cars up, and Dave and his family are, getting into their car, and he comes over and checks out my motorcycle. And we started talking about different subjects and stuff. We kind of just started BSing, beyond what we were doing at the table. And he's like, "You got a card?" I'm like, "Yeah, hand him over a card." Next week, he calls me, "Hey, man, you want to do an album cover for me?" Yeah, so it was all just a sheer,
cool.
changing events.
Yeah, you should totally do a Wayne Newton album.
I would love to, but no, I have nothing but great things to say about both the guys that they're in the interaction with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It was
cool. Right on. So there's a couple questions. I see the 10X Unerdal 1,000-yard Texas grassy knoll I might be the only one who knows what that actually means. So the dirty knob, Semper Fi. Hoorah! Corporals get it done. Serious question. Do you dress the upper frets from the neck joint
In a special way.
in a special way? I like to use a smaller fret wire.
Do you?
Yeah.
I taper mine down just a hair, just to roll off to counteract with possible interference with action on guitars that have a little bit more relief to them. I'll take it down. I'm not saying it's probably even noticeable, but if you were to put a straight edge on, say, the last 8 frets,
You like to have a little bit of a fall off.
Yeah, Elrondo's asked about fall off before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Just
you
a
want to
hair.
have some. Yeah, you absolutely want to have
And it depends on how good your fretwork is. If you can set that thing dead flat and you got the action right, you're probably not going to have any issues. But we're talking tens of thousandths of an inch you're dealing with in trying to get that and compensating, for lack of relief. Your fretwork has to be so spot on, which is pretty easy to do these days with the blocks and taking your time. But I've just found that I always like to roll it off. But I am using longer truss rods these days, but they have less effect on the heel of the neck.
They don't have, it's
So
we've what length truss rods are you using? The same
18.
ones? 18. We're at 7 1/4, I think, or 17 1/4.
Yeah.
7 1/4.
We're at 1 point. Yeah.
These truss rods really work, but they only do this much. So let's talk. There was something. I had something on my brain, and I want to talk to you about it. Oh, you want? Oh, hold on. I got. Well, you can't see those.
All right.
It's a surprise.
These
Surprise!
Let's so has anybody got a bunch of questions for Mike? Go ahead and put them in. But I've got some questions for you. That these are standard binary questions.
All right.
These are one or the other questions. I'm going to ask everybody who does one of these live things with us these same questions.
So like guest builder.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
All right, brother.
All right. Here we go. I have to get my danger glasses on.
I better have a beer.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
You want some whiskey? Tequila?
Mm.
Wine?
Triple sec.
Triples.
No, I'm good with beers.
Dr. Pepper?
All right. We're doing the questions, Mrs. Texas. All right, Mike. You ready?
All right.
Sweet or savory?
Weenie roller.
Savory.
Okay. Do you want to expound on that or expand on that?
No, I think that sweet just describes so many things anymore at the age of 54.
Yeah.
They're not really good for you. So I think that savory is more something that's in line with my objectives.
Okay.
With my, physique.
All right, cool. Well, this one's gonna push it.
All right.
Pie or cake?
Oof. Cake.
Okay.
Cake.
All right.
No particular.
I'm
surprised.
shocked.
Yeah.
No particular reason why. I do enjoy good pie, and my wife is an amazing.
Hey, that's
amazing.
a total. You set Steve up for that.
Oh man,
How you enjoy pie and your wife?
No, right. No. But she makes amazing cakes and bakes amazing. So.
Okay. Question number 3. Ginger or Marianne?
Whew. Ginger.
Okay.
Marianne seemed very wholesome. Ginger, she was a little naughty and kind of frisky. I kind of enjoyed that at the age of 12.
There's really only one right answer, and Brett knows what I'm about. It's all about Lovey Howell as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, you didn't give me that option.
I know it's a binary question. All right. Here's the last binary question.
All right.
Under pressure or ice baby?
Under pressure.
What? Okay.
Under
fine.
pressure.
All right.
Or
All right.
hammer time.
I'd go at hammer time, and
So when
if
you
there was
have
a triad there,
All right,
you know
so
what I mean?
if I say to you, stop, what's your follow-up?
Collaborate and listen.
Or hammer time,
Yeah,
or
that's
in
all right.
the name of love.
Or
This
you
is
want
the
to see the move? You don't
shot.
want to see the move, do you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although there's
No.
one more question. Now this is not a
All right.
binary question.
All right.
So Mike, what's the one that got away? Now I'm talking about guitars, motorcycles, cars, guns, whatever. What's the one that got away?
1967 Norton Atlas.
Dang.
2,000 miles.
Dang. You know, if I could afford a Harley, I'd have a Norton.
I'm telling you.
And you had to work on it.
Oh my God. Oh, that bike was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I got it from a friend of mine named Marty Meehan back in Erie, Pennsylvania.
What
I
happened to it?
sold it to move to Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And I had just enough money from the sales of that to rent a frickin' U-Haul and put all my crap in there and go out there with $100.
Steve
in
has a
pocket.
66 Atlas.
Oh yeah, go Steve.
Steve is also the one who like makes boob and dick jokes all the time. He's awesome at it.
Yeah, man. I love old bikes, man. I'm a bike freak as much as I am a guitar
Here's
freak.
a question that's not going to be for everybody. When are you going to take one of my bikes and work it over?
You know, we're gonna have to get to that one. I got like 8 bikes
yes.
in my freaking shop right
You
now.
You could have
You
9.
need to fix this. He has this bike that he took the spring out from under the seat.
There's
and put a
several
steel
motorcycles
rod-
that are none of them run yet. Yeah.
steel rod instead of a spring.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hemorrhoid cream.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, I definitely, dude. You know what? Here's my plan. I've just been delaying the whole process of getting on that CB. So eventually, you're gonna come to me and say, "Hey, you want to buy this thing?" And I'll be, "Oh yeah, let's."
No, I don't want to sell the CB. I want that to be a cafe racer, and I want to
Yeah.
ride the fuck out.
I know it's cool.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Let's talk a little bit. So those are the standard questions that I have for
All right.
everybody who does this. But we got a lot more shit going on.
Yeah,
I want to know about what he does for D'Angelico.
Yeah, let's talk about that because we didn't see any of your artwork at the NAMM show this year. We did last year.
You know,
And I know what you do, and it's just cool.
It is
So,
cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you. You know, D'Angelico has their own art staff, and then every one of their clients, the musicians on their roster, they all have their own art staff. So the Grateful Dead, I actually
Wait, they have like a bunch of guys who like do stuff. Like,
they have a big art department at D'Angelico that has their own ideas,
oh,
and I've become a Xerox machine for their stuff. If
Okay.
there's issues with it, you know, then I will suggest maybe a little change here and there. But I'm in conversation right now with them regarding this year's tour for the Grateful Dead and all the guitars for their tour.
okay.
So
How does that work though? Like what?
Yeah,
we've seen them, but not everyone has.
You paint guitars for them, and then they give them away, or they I don't want to use raffle or whatever.
Yeah.
but it's
They
each
auction them
show,
off,
They
yeah.
auction them
yeah,
off.
they auction them off. They
For
you know
buckets.
they're
Yeah.
basically for Bob Weir, and he has a guitar that's painted for each event on the tour, each city, and each art and graphic is kind of designed to coordinate.
Specific to the city.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then the whole band signs them, and then they auction them off. One year they got $560,000.
Damn.
For all the guitars, for one.
One
For
guitar.
one guitar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it was 560,000 for
Yeah.
in
Good
Chicago.
God Almighty,
Yeah.
Deadheads
Yeah.
have
That's like the
bucks.
price of like a
I mean,
59 Les Paul or something, right?
Dude,
More.
We estimated one time, based upon that average number, we were figuring, well, we heard like as low as 230, and we heard the 560 number. I had like close to like $10 million in guitars in my shop. The stuff that they were out taking out on tour, you know?
That's cool.
And then I get guys who call me up, hey man, I'm gonna buy a D'Angelico, and can you paint it just like the tour guitar for that?
Nope.
No, I won't. I will not. I value my
That's cool.
relationship
That's cool.
with my company. It will not.
The
do
dudes
that,
at D'Angelico were so nice to us at the
Great-
NAMM show. They were
great
like
people.
they weren't like, well, who the
You
fuck
know who
are you
was
guys?
really
They were
nice to
super
Chris
cool.
at the NAMM show?
Oh yeah, well, we won't get into that. But
Oh, yeah,
the
the
guys
NAMM
at
show.
the guy, this was not year before, last year. They were so cool to us, and the I want to say like the vice president was some young guy who was like Todd D'Angelico or whatever, was a nice guy, and he was like he talked to us, and he was a really cool guy. It's just a
Yeah.
really nice.
We
Really
dropped
good guys.
your name all the
Totally.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Right on.
We're
You
like,
know,
hey, can you give us some free hand sanitizer? We're friends of Mike Learns.
yeah,
You know
you're
what?
gonna need it.
Ask for free tape.
And then we got like
Yeah.
if we give $1 to the Dean girls and say
Uh-huh.
we know you,
Yeah.
we get a face dance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
More than
Man,
20.
I'm gonna start rolling my name out more
You
often.
should.
I met
Yeah.
Frank Stallone at the D'Angelico booth and sat next to him.
What?
Frank Stallone, man, he was a cool dude, man. He was sitting
And
there
he's
rapping
into
about
guitars too.
He-
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
shit.
Totally
Oh my
into
God,
them.
he was
And his
What
brother
a
buys
cool
them
dude.
for him
Frank
every once
Stallone
in a
had a
while.
song?
had a song.
What was it called?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Sly's
back in the
Brother?
80s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he had a
song.
yeah.
Album. There was one that was kind
It
of.
was probably big in some college radio in northern Idaho somewhere.
Frank Stallone song was big in college radio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm probably
No.
trying to find a market for it.
The Scott
Popped
Baio
in my
song
head.
was popular.
No, it was Joni. and Cha-Chi.
No, Scott Baio had a solo album. I don't know what band he was in that he needed to have a solo album, but he did.
Scott Baio Hold a Mayo Band.
Scott Baio Extra Mayo.
Gross.
Hey, okay, so
Far From Over was the song.
let's talk
Oh,
about.
got it already.
So one thing I want to talk about before we are all wrapped up and done is paint lacquer versus the new stuff. But let's talk about the old skull amp. What the shit happened to the thing? All I see now is a
That's
fucking
okay,
Frank
just watch
That's
it.
all
Stallone
right.
shirt.
That's all right.
That's all right. So what do you want to say? What was it? What?
What's happening with the old skull amp?
Man.
I have mine. Do you
There
have
go.
yours?
Yeah. Bust out the old skull amp.
Oh, definitely get the dust off.
That's all right. I kind of resigned myself for a little while because I had so much shit going on in my personal life.
This is a amp.
Yeah, you did have a lot going on, but now there's no excuse for
There
not to do
isn't.
the fucking soliloquy.
Oh, the
from
batteries are
Hamlet.
dead. Oh,
No, they're
that's
not.
right.
They're rocking and rolling.
Soliloquy from Hamlet. Go.
Get it right up in the
All
thing
right.
so people can see the.
So this is just a little
See it lights up, right? So you know it's good.
5-watt amplifier. It's got the speakers inside the head case. It also has a direct feed for like iPod or iPad or any sort of music source.
It
It
does?
runs into an 1/8-inch phono jack. Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
Amazing.
So
So
you
you don't
could-
even skull from your hand.
Yes. And so
That's
this-
actually Mike's skull. they took a MRI of that and they made it out of Mike's.
No, actually, this
Yeah.
is a Chinese
No one can
prisoner's
see it.
a
Ah, there
Chinese
we go.
prisoner's skull, and it was cast off of a prisoner that had been in the system. It was a rather young guy. He still had all his teeth at the time.
But he had a bunch of war on his mouth.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I wanted to do with this,
War?
I was,
War.
a big fan
No one
of,
can see it, Holmes.
I'm sorry, man. Big fan of like Eddie and, and obviously anything metal, so I thought they'd be pretty cool. They
I think
sound
they're
pretty good.
totally cool. I'm glad I have one.
Yes. And I'm glad you have it as well.
You know what I like? I like the grill.
Yes, that's the logo of the company actually, and it doubles as a sound
Do
port.
you have any more for sale?
I do. I actually have like
Where
ability
can-
to build 12 of them.
Where can people buy them?
They can actually find me online on Facebook or whatever and say, hey, I want a damn
Could they
amp.
go to MikeLearn.com and send you a thing for old skull amps?
Yeah, they could also go to oldschoolamps.com, I believe it is. So old school amplifiers.
All right. If anybody wants something that's badass, conversation piece, and totally kicks butt, you need an old skull amp from Mike Learn.
I tell you what, even better yet, you buy a custom guitar from me, I'll throw in the old skull amp.
Dang! How many dollar value is that?
That's about $300
I was
value.
gonna say, yeah. And you get a copy of Mike Learn's skull or that Chinese.
I'll even send you a copy of our latest CD from Lords of Distortion.
So let
Bonus!
me get this straight. You get the super cool custom guitar
Right.
that says Learn Guitar, and it's
Right.
got like Learn paint all
Yeah,
over it, of
right.
course.
Sure.
And you get the old skull amp and a copy of LOD's
Second Strike.
Joe
Damn.
Bonamassa sunglasses.
You don't get
Right.
you get Mike Learn's sunglasses. I don't have a copy of Second Strike.
Oh, I can't believe that.
I have
Wait,
White Line Fever, which is my
Fever.
absolute fucking favorite song, and that's Brett's favorite song too. Yes, Brett?
Yeah, why not you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally fucking cool.
Right on, man. Thank you. I think I have a copy of it in my truck. I'll hook you up after we're done here.
See, someone's like,
I'm getting called out for not talking enough.
"What a cool skull amp!" Beer
because
number.
these two are giving you a
Ba 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 ba
offset
ba
of
ba ba
getting
ba ba
the
ba
word
ba ba.
edgewise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is talking my ears off.
Yeah.
That's good.
Whatever.
Let's engage Chris in conversation.
Let's not. I mean,
So,
this
Chris,
this is about
Let
Mike.
me ask you. I mean, since
Yeah.
as long as I've known you, you've been adapting to the paint and
Yeah.
stuff you do. How,
Absolutely.
How
Excellent
How have you
segue.
enjoyed the change going from the quasi notorious lacquer
Yeah,
to
yeah.
your things?
I like the new paint. I like that it's faster. It's one of my favorite things is that we can get all the colors that we want, any
Mhm.
color you want, except for
DiMarzio
Yeah,
paint.
DiMarzio paint.
Yeah.
So if
That's a-
Chris Ray is
that's a
watching,
conversation
why
for
can't we get
another day.
DiMarzio paint?
Well, pink is a very difficult color to put off on
It's
a
white
bench.
and red. Why-
Right,
what's
you
the-
would think.
Yeah, you would.
But the pink that you're actually looking for is somewhat fluorescent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so therefore it's difficult. There's no fluorescent toners on on the bench. So there are fluorescent pinks out of the can that have very good vitamin. The problem is,
here it comes. Okay.
you pay money for them. Secondly, they are very non-UV resistant.
Yeah.
Oh, so
they even talk
fade
about
the
that
fuck-
on this. So
Yeah.
like the stuff that we use to dye this, it's gonna fade.
Yeah, dude, this,
Really?
check this out. We painted a motorcycle for Mary Lou Retton one time.
The
Gymnast.
gymnast.
Yeah. And it was bright fluorescent pink.
I got a little bit of a thing for her.
And somebody had the damn thing out in the sun, and they were sitting there talking to her with a
turned
hand on the
brown?
tank. No.
No shit.
While it
Really?
was in the sun, and probably for like 10, 15 seconds, man. He pulled up. You could see his freaking hand ghosted image on the fluorescent pink. So it's, I mean, you have to make sure that the urethanes, they have very good UV blocker.
Should we use the so the guy who wants that pink has found a cord of it somewhere, and
Just to
I'm
paint
like,
the pickups?
no,
Oh,
to paint the
guitar.
guitar.
whole
Okay.
guitar.
Should we use a UV blocking clear?
Yeah, you'll definitely want to do that. I mean, the stuff you guys are probably using works with, but dude, I found this killer clear
Okay.
that's made by Tamco Paints. It's
Alright.
high impact and dries in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buff
I
it
saw
in like
that
an hour
helmet.
and a half.
I saw that helmet that you did.
Yeah.
It's
It
was really
amazing.
good.
I mean, it's amazing.
So
that
should
stuff.
we what's the learning curve on that stuff versus the production clear that we're using now?
It's the same. You spray it the same. It has
We
a
should try it.
shorter pot life.
Okay.
The thing about the paint though, make sure you put a good white opaque foundation down on it, and you got to be very, very controlled with your overlap with the fluorescent paints, because they are basically candies. They're very translucent.
okay.
And they'll stretch.
Yeah, they'll band on you real quick. You know, so get back, just
Yeah.
You know
couple
why I know
passes.
that? Because Mike taught me how.
Yeah.
Not everyone
yeah.
knows this, but Mrs. Texas Toast actually
Traded the
paint
VW
classes
bug,
from Mike Learn. Are
which is
there
now
more beers in
turning
the
into
fridge?
like a
There's some
pickup.
Could I have another one of these little?
Maybe I should try one of Mike's beers that he brought over. He's not drinking them.
Yeah, try it, man.
You won't like it.
I won't like it, but
Hey,
maybe
Mike.
Then we
You
can
won't
trade
like
for this
it.
half-empty Coors.
I'll trade you a half-empty Coors for a
Yeah,
half-empty.
You'll like it. It's
Or a
not like
half-empty
super
brown.
hoppy. It's kind of got a good taste.
I like it. Nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Not too hoppy.
Is it brown?
I don't know. I didn't pour it out
You know,
into
I like-
anything,
It's a little brown.
but it's kind of like a porter.
That's a beer.
Man, that's getting the job done.
It beats the old light stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So paint.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys are,
Well,
Moving
we
into a
came
well
around
with
to sealer, the Simtex sealer,
Mhm.
right away.
Yeah.
No,
And-
you didn't.
Yeah, we did. Oh, Chris didn't, but I did. No, we came around to the sealer, but we started using the modern actual paints and clears when we did the $400 guitar challenge.
Yeah.
Do you think Doug Cower would come on and do one of these with us?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, speaking of Doug Cower and speaking of boutique guys, you also do have done some painting with John Sullivan at Sully Guitars, had you not?
Yeah, when John first started up, I
Okay.
did a few guitars for him. Then I had a couple special requests from customers that needed airbrush work, but he's got some guys doing pretty consistent work. I think pretty close to him. So
Oh, okay, so they don't have to
Yeah,
ship it. And,
yeah.
We have
Yeah.
a bunch of white guitars that we're gonna do. Do you
Oh,
wanna-
hell
you wanna
no.
part of that?
Hell no. I don't paint
No?
guitars for
You don't-
good
you don't-
people.
Come on, they
You know,
can't have any
white-
flecks
yeah.
of
No,
red
man,
metal flake in them at
no,
all.
no.
You need someone to do it.
No.
Okay.
No, I actually started just turning away all that work and having them call Matt, but
No, fuck that.
That's why we have a bunch of white ones. Yeah. I don't know who
damn
told you
it.
we do white, but okay.
Someone's here. Someone's here. I press left side, you fuck.
fuck you,
What's going on? They're doing
You
it.
big
Yeah.
headed mofo.
We're on the air.
Yeah, doing their thing.
Doing a live stream.
Are there any
Room
questions
full of people.
for Mike Learn while are we got anything holding or we got
Well, here's
anybody?
a question.
All right.
What's the cheapest? And I want to rephrase this to be the least,
I can't stress this enough.
that it's not cheap.
Uh-huh.
It's more affordable. Guitars you guys made, and what was the price?
Well, for Texas Toast, it was the Daily Drivers for $9.99, and we still make those. They're still $9.99, and they're Fender style guitars. In fact, there's one right there with the infinity radius with beetle kill pine. I don't have any right behind me right now. That
You're laughing about the infinity radius.
That's so great, man. It's so
Oh,
great.
yes,
Yeah.
please do talk about the infinity radius.
All right, the infinity radius is it's a project
grab
that
it?
Chris had.
Can you grab it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get the skull amp and the infinity radius guitars going.
So the idea with the infinity radius,
Chris-
because we did our deep dive into radiuses.
We did.
Radii.
Radii.
And,
Radii.
It was like, well, I've never really played a guitar with a 20-inch radius, or I've never really played a guitar with something. And I was like, I should make one with a 20-inch radius. I should make one with a completely flat radius, 0 radius,
Yep.
flat board.
Mhm.
And so that's what we did. And then we named it the infinity radius.
And people
And-
don't realize probably how much work it takes to make a flat
Well,
radius.
it was a unique challenge. Yeah, it was unique. And the funny thing is, once it came time to set it up, it's like, well, I don't really have anything flat that I can put on here, right? So I had to use like a ruler. And, but anyway, it's not that much different than playing a regular guitar, and it actually plays just fine. So
Yeah, it plays great. I mean,
Yeah.
to infinity and beyond.
exactly.
And
yeah.
beyond.
What's more flat
And beyond.
than infinity? Yeah.
But
It's a good marketing hyperbole right
so
there.
the daily drivers from Texas Toast are on our website right now, and they're $9.99 and up, and they're very customizable. Mike has some of them at Flipside Music. If you want to stop into Flipside and check them out, you should. How about you, Mike? What's the lowest price guitar? Would you have like an entry level Mike Learn guitar?
I don't really have an entry level. You know what it is I'll build a spec instrument, and I'll get so sick of looking at it hanging on my wall. My wife will be like, "Are you going to keep that one or sell it?" And so it goes out the door relatively cheap, usually for about the cost of what it takes me to paint it. Because
not
all of them
painted
have
yet.
custom painted. You know, I don't do guitars that aren't painted. I don't. I mean, because that's how I satisfy my creative angst. You know,
Yeah.
I'll build the
Yeah.
instrument.
Well,
and
Doug,
then I
and
paint them.
you took off quite a bit of time for making guitars for a while.
I did.
you
I had to take. a
I
break.
was really happy to see that you like. All right, I'm doing it again. I'm making shit. Yeah.
It's just like anything. Sometimes you just get burned out. You know, and we have to. It's I'm preaching to the choir here. You know, I mean, you guys know. It's tough. It's tough. You know, I've got a guitar that I've got 200 hours in. That double neck that I built, all the templating, all the pattern, all the engineering. The custom paint was like 30 hours itself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I have guys like, "How much you gonna sell the guitar for?" I'm like, $5K plus case and shipping.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And I'm
That's the
like,
thing that nobody understands about paint.
Yeah.
Is just how long it takes. Even just a standard color.
Hey, Brett,
let
how
alone-
much should a guitar paint cost?
$100.
Yeah. In your dreams.
It's like it's about
That's just in the can. It's not.
Yeah, now you know better, right?
yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, everybody. That's the mentality we have, and I think that's kind of just been deducted from people going into Guitar Center and buying $200 guitars. They say, well, how the fuck does paint cost $1,000
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
custom paint on it when I can go get
So-
this guitar with a
so
laminate? And
Brett's got he's got a pint or a half pint
pint.
of Fiesta Red, $95 for
damn
just the
straight.
paint. Yeah.
Yeah, red's the most expensive.
Yeah.
Well, of pure toners, it is the most expensive.
Yeah.
We got some new
We
questions.
got a
Love-
really good question.
All right, let's hear
All
it.
right.
Hit me.
And for both of y'all,
Who's Chris and Mike?
all y'all,
All's
Oh,
y'all.
y'all.
Okay.
all y'all.
Alrighty.
I got my
All
danger
right.
glasses
So
on.
it's what famous groups have used your guitars, and has any famous guitarist personally ordered you to make something for them?
Well, Mike
Oh, and this touches back to the motorcycle channel
has way more than we
for
do.
your Anthrax guitar.
Oh my God! I honestly, God, it's just been so many, and I don't mean to sound like there's been so many.
But it's true, Mike. I mean, you got way more than us.
I honestly don't even think about it because honestly, I value this guy off the freaking street. His
More than
money
Miley
more
Hey,
than
Cyrus.
shut the fuck up over there, you guys.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus. I mean, Phil Collins, the guys
Whoa,
from
whoa,
the
wait,
Styx,
can we talk about Miley Cyrus for a while?
Yeah.
You still have those pictures of Miley
I,
Cyrus?
well, yeah, I do.
Okay.
But I can't share.
Could you
it
just
yet.
show me like one time?
Maybe I could show you.
No, I don't want to like send them to me, but yeah. Okay,
No,
never
yeah,
mind.
if you
Never
come
mind.
up to shop, I'll
All right, okay,
check
okay,
it,
okay,
check
The
it out.
flash on the.
But quite honestly, the and this really is a result of the companies I work for. in most cases, who are associated with the artists on their roster.
You
That I do what I do.
Tour guitars, you know, you've got all kinds of shit going on. And then going back to your sizzle reel
Yeah.
for your show. When
With Nubs Graphics.
Right, yeah, no,
with
well, you know,
Anthrax.
right,
you know?
well, yeah.
Oh, that's
did
right. I fucking forgot about that.
Anthrax, you know, Eddie Ojeda, Twisted Sister, Steve Brown, you know, just, I mean, numbers and numbers of people. Like, I can't say anyone holds the most impact for me.
You don't have a Carlos Santana, pretty much.
No.
You have a
Yeah.
Carlos Cavazio.
Yeah.
No, I never did anything with any Carlos, I don't believe. But it's funny that you mention it because Nub and I are getting ready to do a shoot on a show this summer called Starving Artist.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to travel like about, I don't know, maybe 800-mile loop round trip with no money in our pockets with 2 other artists.
I was gonna say you're
Yeah,
obviously not starving. So.
Wow, that's.
Well,
Now
I
you
keep telling
guys
everybody.
are obviously starving.
I keep telling everybody it's going to be the world's greatest art show, or it's going to be the world's greatest weight loss program.
Or it's gonna be it's gonna be 3 minutes long.
But everybody's a musician.
Are you gonna take Monkey with you, and are you gonna get face dancing?
Well, you never know. We're probably going to avoid any sort of conflict with our personal lives, you know. So, but it's going to be a lot of fun to be out on the road with guys for about I don't know, maybe 8-10 days.
That's cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
What I had a question and now I totally fucking spaced it. I had a senior moment.
Yeah.
Son
know-
of a bitch. What's up?
Memory's the second thing to go.
I know, right?
What's the
Oh.
worst?
I don't remember.
Yay! So, but you've got more than just. So we've already talked about learn airbrush.
Right.
We've talked about learn guitars.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about art circus.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about pie or cake.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about
Pie or cake.
Winger.
Everyone
Winger.
knows
We
pie.
talked about
You went to the
Limited
show the other
Edition.
night. How was it?
It was
Yeah.
good. I hung around for about 3 songs and something I ate that night. Dinner removed me from the premise.
But you've got a
It's
new thing. Can you touch a little bit on the new thing that you got? Just a little taste.
All right. Well, I can only talk about it's a device that I designed to work on the guitar that will.
I've seen it, and everyone's
Yeah.
gonna want it.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be freaking gigantic because it's retrofits to everything out there with.
Can anybody put it on their guitar?
Anybody
Any
will,
schlub can put it on their guitar.
any schlub that can handle a drill will be able to install this. It's completely bulletproof.
All right.
So I've got a provisional in place, and I've got to do the rest of the R&D for the next month, and getting the machine pieces done. We've got the prototyping all done.
Now here's
Plastic.
what I really need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to Summer NAMM with it? And can we come to?
There's
hang
a
out with
very
Brian
good.
Nutter's
We're gonna hang out at Brian Nutter's shop. Yeah.
He's gonna let us sleep in the barn.
He's totally gonna let us sleep. in
That's
the
probably
barn.
the cheapest place to sleep in Nashville.
Well, or we have
Brian Nutter's barn.
so
it'll
Pepper
be like-
Ann said we could
It'll be
sleep with
like the
her.
new Christmas, like your second coming of Christ.
Brian Nutter's
Yeah, it's
barn.
gonna be a lot like a Walton's episode, I think.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
we're-
be a
When,
lot like
we're gonna
when
wear
people see
coveralls
this
and-
device, though, I mean, they're going to be like, I can't believe nobody thought of it.
I can't believe
Before
nobody thought of
This
it.
guy with a doofus beard and a freaking skull hat. They're going to be like, how is this
Somebody
guy?
said they thought you were eating a cat.
Nah, it was earlier. But yeah, I mean,
Listen
so
now.
this summer, it might make it to NAMM in presentation. I tell you, anytime you want to do summer NAMM, you want to do a booth,
All right.
just fucking do it.
There's 3 people in my shop right now who would do Summer NAMM, and that's you and me and Ike.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
And-
reasonable.
Let's get an RV.
Oh, RV to
Ooh,
Summer
yeah,
NAMM.
man.
That-
Campgrounds.
That would you have to record. every
We're gonna
step
park
of
at
the
Brian
car.
Nutter's house.
In the RV.
I would love to
Dang.
do that. I
Yeah.
honestly, I think it would
I
be
can
fun.
still sleep in the
I don't
barn,
need to
right?
take up
Yeah,
that
you
much
can see
space. I mean, I would just take a hand, like 2-3 guitars and the part that
Would
I'm
you
making.
snuggle with Ike?
No, I can't do that, man. I
Well,
can't.
He's got a
Summer.
chick. He's got a lady now. So
It's
yeah.
summertime in Nashville, so there's no like need
When
for
is it?
butts to nuts.
Is it
Just
July?
end of June or early
I think
July.
it's
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I might be able to swing.
17th to 20th of July.
Oh shit, that's gonna
Oh,
overlap
yeah.
right when I'm filming.
Have you been to Flipside Music?
No, I have not. Ever been to
Okay.
Flipside
Why the
Music.
fuck not?
I don't get
Because you don't ever go outside.
This is about as south as I get right here. Come down to Matt's place.
You gotta go check out what
I
Ike's
will.
got going on.
That's Ike's guitar behind Chris's head.
And
right?
yeah, Chris, you want to grab Ike's guitar and let him let him
You know, hey,
get his ball grease on it.
if you say it's as good as it is, that's all I need to know
Here,
because I
let's
think
show it
your
up a
word.
little bit.
Show it off a little bit.
100%.
So this is Ike's guitar. I even wrote a special note in the pickup
I
tab.
love
Yeah,
that
right.
pattern.
You know what?
The pattern on the back is so badass.
Somebody
What does
even
it say?
hashtagged
Ike sucks balls on there.
One of the girls in the Instagram was like, hashtag Ike sucks balls. And I was like, you saw that?
It gives it more tone.
We cleared over
So
it.
you got to
too.
clear one more time on that.
Yeah, we have so we have to
See the
scuff it back
binding,
and
yeah.
clear more so that the binding
Yeah,
looks
very-
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that
That pattern
Dude,
is so
go
awesome.
look in the light, dude. It's
Yeah, take it
fucking
outside.
totally
It's
tripped.
really
How much of that
It's
color changed when you put the clear over top of it, where the
So
skulls
much.
are?
I mean, the definition.
Was it
Oh
it's
yeah.
way more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
detailed now than-
Yeah.
I mean, that looks amazing. That's
Yeah.
great.
The clear
Everything
makes
is
all that
so much
stuff pop.
crisper once
Yeah.
that clear goes on.
I mean, how much you charging for those laminates?
About $100.
$100 for more for that?
No, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Depends on the.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't want to be the fabric top guy, but I'm the fucking fabric
I
top
don't want to
guy.
be the license plate top guy, but I'm still gonna do it. You know what I
You,
mean?
it's better than being the ass man.
The ass.
No, those are cool. Those are great. I think that's a
Three drunk uncles.
No, that's
Especially
Jamie
you.
DeSoto.
Yeah,
Drunk
Are there any questions for Mike about
Yes,
Miley Cyrus?
Well,
and
there
Bruce?
is a question that's.
Oh, all right. What do we got?
Which guitarist made you proud by playing your guitars?
Yeah, Mike.
Who are you most proud of playing your guitar?
For me,
Boy.
anytime anybody plays one of the guitars and actually likes it,
That's what I did.
I like seeing stuff that I've made.
There's nothing
being
like
played by
watching
somebody else. And
someone.
It doesn't matter who's
Yeah,
playing.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't matter if
just
you're
really
if you're.
cool.
Yeah. And you know, quite honestly, the most beneficial to me is somebody here in a local Denver scene playing one of my guitars rather than Phil Collin playing a guitar that I did for him or painted for him.
Phil
you know?
Collin
Sorry.
my
So, but I mean, there's a bunch of local guys here in Denver now who are playing stuff that I've done for them. And
I don't want to drop
More
my
of that.
names.
Yeah.
This band Def Leppard.
I hang out with those dudes.
Yeah, it's not a thing, really.
But that stuff doesn't pay the bills oftentimes, you know?
It doesn't pay the bills.
No.
How much exposure are you going to get?
Yeah.
You
I get
will
a lot
not
of
believe
exposure.
how much exposure you'll get playing that guitar for Phil Collins.
You will not
Damn
believe
straight.
how many chicks
Yeah.
I boned in this band.
I think no one's gonna expose you more than Miley Cyrus, honestly.
Honestly, I haven't
Mike
seen
painted a guitar for Miley Cyrus.
I haven't
You didn't
seen
know that?
Out of one of her friends.
Yeah, she plays. I think her friend designed all the artwork for it, and I just had to duplicate it. And I kind of got frustrated with her and her perception of the art.
And there was a little bit of this.
That I ended up just painting the guitar and applying vinyl. Copied the artwork that her friend had made because she was worried I wasn't going to be able to duplicate it, and I didn't want to get into a big pissing match with her. You know, I said,
She could piss over a fucking Volkswagen Jetta.
Yeah, you
I
bet.
believe it. So I just cleared over top of vinyl with her guitar, you know.
How does
So-
that work? Did you bind it? Or did
No,
you
no, it was no, dude. It was just regular printed vinyl.
Done.
Yeah, plotted out to go around the perimeter of the shape. Stuck it on cleared. She was happy.
Mrs. Texas Toast has some vinyl work that you need to look at.
I saw that.
Totally.
Yeah, that's no problem.
What? What shit?
Shh, top secret. Not
Top secret.
right down
All
yet.
right. Are there any more questions for Mike before we wrap this sumbitch up? There's
Yes.
a lot of shit. There's what's a panty top? Panty top.
That's what I want to know.
Steve Areno, Phil
said-
Collin, the bald guy. How do you fabric top hold up in high humidity? I think we'll be fine because it all gets sealed up, and it's like the fabric top is a lot like using like fiberglass almost.
Yeah,
If there's any
absorbs.
Corvettes
Yeah.
in Cuba, which I doubt there are, but you could, yeah.
It
Are there
absorbs the
60s
medium.
Corvette?
You're basically turning the fabric into
Exactly.
plastic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
So-
polyester.
Right.
Hey girl, reading this later. Show them the song. Sweet Child O' Mine. What the fuck is that?
Nescafe Basement.
I don't know who that is. R-Bar Butt.
We're old. You know, like we can watch like the Oscars and the music awards, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Yeah. This is a famous person. All right, I'm.
Is Mike a true fire guy? does that mean?
Yeah, I do a lot of True Fire.
What's True Fire?
That's airbrush art or fire to make it look like real flame.
Oh, okay, I know that.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
Mike's-
French girl.
But I'm not the True Fire
Who's
guy.
the True
I think
Fire?
I would say
I
I
think
think
that guy's from
he's
Denver,
referring
right?
to Mike Lovelly, who is
Yeah.
up in Snohomish, Washington.
Oh,
So not here.
Yeah, Mike
Okay.
learns airbrush skills. Are
People
second
get
to
us
none.
confused because we're both short and our name is Mike
It's
L.
Mike. Yeah.
You know, so
So let's get another course of clear, and then it'll be ready to assemble.
And then I'm gonna thump it into
I got
the
a band that
wall.
needs flames.
You want True Flame or you want hot rod flame?
Over, it could be.
Hot rod flame,
Okay.
baby.
Not enough sleep Saturday morning flames.
to do that.
Over,
Plastic dip.
yeah, plastic dip.
It's already replicated, so.
Yeah.
You just pinstripe the flames, probably be your best option.
So rattle can should get like a rebranch spray can.
Yeah, nothing sticks to that plastic dip, man.
Except more plastic dip.
Yeah, man, nothing sticks to
You
that.
can't tape it off.
Can't scratch
It's
it.
plastic dip.
It's rough.
Well, so we're an hour and 11 minutes in.
All right.
Have we covered everything? Have we covered enough
Did you
stuff?
ask all your standard questions?
I've asked all the
For
standard
guest
questions.
builders
Yeah.
that are coming
Yeah.
in? Okay.
No, I think you guys have covered quite a bit.
You guys have really come a long way with
No,
me with your little
you really have,
show.
man. I remember when I first met Matt. It was down
It was
where's that?
at the
What the hell's the name of that bar
what's the place that had the guitar show, Brett?
in Denver?
Remember we went to the Cervantes.
Cervantes,
Ball.
yeah. So we had tables set up. I
Yeah.
had, my quasi metal guitars, and Matt had some really good vintagey looking Les Pauls and components from that and stuff. And usually in this industry,
And Mike had no business talking to us, but he was so cool, and it was just we hit it off right away.
Oh yeah, and it was very refreshing.
Yeah.
To be in the same industry as somebody
Mhm.
and to be able to get along as fantastically as we all do.
Isn't it funny how when you a lot of people don't want to do that, but
Right.
we talk with you, Brian Nutter, Steve at Maximum Guitars, John at Sully Guitars.
Mhm.
All those dudes are so, and the list goes on and on.
Dollover.
Scott Dolliver at Ghost Machine Guitars, Doug Cower at Cower Guitars, Omar at OD Guitars, Gunny at whatever the fuck Gunny Guitars. What is this? What's
Gunner.
Gunter.
Gunter, yeah.
Gunter.
We use the Gunny guitar, yeah.
Orange guitars.
Orange Guitars, thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
And it's a different language thing, but those guys, real guitar makers, get together and they know that there's no I don't want to hang out with you because you're a guitar maker. And no, there's no.
Right.
It's not a zero-sum game. It's just a cool thing that is fun and yeah.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, Chris, do some wiring vids, you turd. Hey, but when guitar makers get together, they don't, remember we had the thing, the Colorado Lutheran
Yeah,
thing?
right.
And it was me and you and dude,
Vanderhooven?
Kyle, yeah.
And
he was a really nice guy, yeah.
The school in Parker, is that thing?
No,
What
this
was
was
it? You know what I'm talking
it
about?
was just Kyle's shop,
Oh.
and we went to his shop and we went to get beers at some Mexican food
Yeah,
joint,
that
and we
was
wanted
us.
to make it a thing, and it just sort of kind of
Yeah,
fizzled.
that was it. That's the only interest we had was us three guys.
Yeah.
And
And I was hungover as fuck one day. I walked over to your Chris spent the night at our house. He was so drunk. We went to this shitty bar down the street, and
It's not a shitty bar.
it was
It's the safest bar ever. Are you talking about Jake's or the Outpost?
No, I'm talking about
The Outpost.
Outpost.
no, I'm talking about Tippers 2.
Oh, I miss that place. I miss
Is
it
it
so
not there
much.
anymore?
It's there, but I think it's like the
It's
like
a
the
biker
biker
club
clubhouse
now.
for the Mongols or something.
Oh, yeah.
I
But
don't want to go to
we
the
got so annihilated drunk goofing around in Arvada, and Chris spent the night at our house, and Bobby didn't eat his face. And then I came over to your house, and nobody showed up.
That
It
was just me and you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right. Fuck it.
Yeah. We
And then you
hammered-
called
hammed
me
it
and
up
were
the
like,
best we could.
I'm pretty much done today.
Oh, so Chris, here's a couple of things for you, sir.
Oh, okay, good.
And I'm going to rapid fire them to you.
All right.
So,
Fire cake.
Julian is awfully worried about our liquor intake.
Why?
I don't know.
There's
he
only
has a lot of-
1, 2,
I'm just-
3,
I'm-
4,
yeah,
5, 6, 7,
yeah.
8,
Well,
9,
here's the
10,
thing.
11, 12,
Here's the
13,
thing
14,
about
15
that.
beers.
We're at altitude. We are like
Seasoned
totally,
pros.
yeah, we're ready
Mhm.
for beer fest, you know?
Right.
You ever see, we might as well be at Schmitz and Giggles.
10.2
I
to go
am.
home.
I'm
Beer
drunk.
fest,
Yeah.
okay? So here's the thing. So, somebody wants Chris to do some more wiring vids.
All right.
And that's
We can do more wiring vids.
So
That
this
sounds
is
fun.
like the spin-off of the Joni Love Chachi from the Happy Days, right?
You're the
And-
Joni
You're
Loves
the-
Chachi?
Pinky Tuscadero.
Where's my pocket?
Oh, why doesn't Chris have a beard?
Yeah. Chris
I
had
I did
a
have a
mighty
pretty solid
beard,
for
And
and it was
also-
the stiletto. It was
Also, I'm
awesome.
going to direct this to you, Chris, because I have to know the answer. Are you ever going to do fabric top amp or speaker cabinet?
Yeah.
And I'm going to
I
translate
will
that
do that
to
someday.
guitar
A
cabinet.
roundy
Yeah.
crowny amp?
Ooh, Rowdy Crowdy.
Yeah, I will.
And that
haven't.
translates to guitar cases as well. Chris builds custom guitar cases.
I have built some guitar cases. Yeah.
Chris will build
Super
your
fun.
custom guitar case
No.
for fun.
Yeah, not for
That's
fun.
no fun.
No, and I'm still not super happy with my interiors on
Mm.
those things. So, yeah, that stuff's all fun. I would love to do a fabric amp. The problem with doing a fabric amp is then all of a sudden you have this hard finish on an
Yeah.
amp, and you almost have to have a case for the amp if you
For
don't
sure.
want to jack up your amp, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend hours and hours doing this super smooth custom finished amp to bonk it into the back of my trunk.
That's what I got
Oh,
on mine,
yeah.
and I got
Yeah.
a safe case for it just because.
For your amp?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, road case. Man, it weighs like friggin' 100 pounds. And you're like,
Yeah, well, and I have that amp now. I don't want that amp either.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about doing like a Princeton size kind of a cabinet for something, but
Mhm.
yeah, that'd be fun. But
Fabric road case.
Happy Ann says
Yeah.
Chris is a surf dude, no beard needed.
And then now
Hey, Chris is gonna play some surf dudes
yeah, who knows?
later
Who
tonight.
knows me as a surf dude?
Happy Ann ads. And Terry
Happy
GG
ads.
and G
Yeah.
is not GG and G from Tucson, Arizona that makes the gun parts, but he's a cool dude and he should be a moderator, by the way. And
Hey, man.
just well, whatever, you know what I'm saying.
He's like a moderator for everybody.
Yeah, he totally is. He's
What's
totally
going on,
cool.
Terry? Sorry.
Yeah, Ike wants to know what's going on, Terry.
He's a moderator for everybody.
He moderates this sumbitch. So I don't have Chris. Do you have any questions for Mike? We don't get to see Mike
why,
that
why are
often.
you so awesome, and why don't you come around
Yeah,
more often?
Mike.
oh man,
I think it's been like
Well, Mike
almost.
has had a
It's been a
rough
long time.
time
Oh, I
for a
know.
while.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a rough time.
So,
been a rough
yeah,
year.
He's had a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of stuff going on. That's
Yeah.
Really has.
You know, quite honestly, I do need to get out more. I've become a little bit of a recluse in my own creative environment, and I get wrapped up in it, and I see things flying around, and I get ideas, Next thing I know, 4 hours pass by, but I love coming down here. I have so much respect for what you guys do.
Thanks so much, Mike.
And
Thanks a lot.
if I ever owned a guitar that I didn't build, it would be a Texas Toast guitar.
Wow, really?
I swear to God.
That's cool. That's cool.
We should do a collaboration, a learn toast, or a toast
yeah.
learn, or
Toasted
a Texas
learn?
learn. Yeah.
You know, we actually have your daughter,
Yeah,
Micah,
Micah. Yeah.
Micah
Uh-huh.
has one of our guitars that
Yeah.
she was gonna paint.
Yeah.
That's an old one though. We should really get another one.
No. Let's get this one done because now, she's actually been going to pinstriping classes with me when I teach at Airbrush Art Circus.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Okay.
she's like ready to do it.
Did she
but-
go down there with you to
Yeah,
like Florida? and
yeah,
shit
yeah.
and stuff?
Finish her welding class.
Yeah, she got her welding certificate and everything. Yeah.
Is she making bikes with her friend?
She's been working with me in the garage on
With
stuff.
the VW.
And well, yeah, but pretty
Hey,
much
Ian.
whatever she has time for,
Yeah.
you know,
Read
she
the
works her
comments.
ass off.
Yeah, there's more beer in the fridge.
So yeah, she's getting an
Or
apartment
there's-
on her own.
Yeah.
And she's
What?
in her house. Empty nesters. Me and my wife will be here
Man. Next week?
next week.
Well,
Crazy.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Excelente. What else you got? Should we wrap it up or are we?
I have nothing else for Mike.
Bored people.
I
long
can
enough.
talk to Mike away from this and be like, hey man,
You-
you're the best.
You rock.
Thanks for being you, Mike.
Hey, somebody
And then
wants
we'll
to know
hug.
if there's any more beers in the fridge. So
There
I'm
is.
thinking-
It's Ike wants to know.
Oh.
That was
It
you?
was Well, I didn't want to interrupt.
Everybody
Ah.
thinks that all we do is drink beer, and that's not true.
Sometimes
We do a lot of hard
All we
work,
do after 4
and
o'clock
then
is
we
drink beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that like you can just stop by the shop whenever you want, but you got to make an appointment, and it's
And you gotta
usually
bring beer.
after 4 o'clock, and you got to bring beer. And
Right.
Yeah, and then yeah.
It's usually how it is pretty universal, isn't it?
keep the video going till someone passes out.
That's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a school night,
I'd
and we're
probably
at
be the first to
altitude.
go.
I'm super
Right.
good at this.
Yeah. Walking Dead's on in like 2 hours.
You know, I really wanted to like that show.
Yeah.
And it's
gone
just
downhill.
like a fucking, no, and
I
then
haven't watched the season
immediately it was like, this is a soap opera. It's not a zombie
Yeah.
show.
It was good. I thought it was good. Now it's kind of like,
I thought it licked my balls from day one.
Yeah.
So, Mike, it was great for you to come by and hang out with us. And I'm hoping that everybody that's watched got all their questions answered. Did you all get your questions answered? I hope so.
Yeah, and if you guys ever need any, questions beyond what Matt can help you out with, he knows everything I know now.
Let's.
Just go to
No,
Mike.
that's not true. Chris is close, but let's throw that out there again. If you got any questions for paint and stuff like that,
Yeah. Go to
MikeLearn.com.
Yeah.
If you got any questions for I want a new guitar made and I want an old skull amp, MikeLearn.com. If you want to go to Art Circus,
Yeah.
MikeLearn.com
That's
and
correct.
leave a message.
Yeah.
If you carry it. What a question. Here.
Okay, so Southern Boy, not Southern Man, because Southern Man don't need him around anyhow.
Yeah.
But Southern Boy wants to know, is it possible to convert a C-style neck to a V-neck?
Depends on the thickness.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Yank
It
the
might not
neck
be
out.
tall enough in the middle.
Yank the neck out.
Yeah.
and-
To start with.
Or
Oh,
you
Like
could possibly mill down the backside flat, parallel to the fingerboard, without trapping or hitting the cavity for the truss rod. Laminate, but then you're going to have a painted neck to.
you know what? There's a lot
I
of
have another
small
solution to this
words
problem.
in there.
New neck.
Get the right guitar in the first place.
Well, that's the
Or buy a
thing.
new neck.
If your neck is thick enough to
But if
where
it's
you
a
could
neck
you could
through.
alter it. Oh,
Yeah.
well, we could do it on our deadhead sander. Like it ain't no thing.
You don't really need an excuse to buy another guitar.
That's right.
Or, so if you're thinking, oh man, I really like this guitar, but I wish it had a V-neck.
You can get
Then
that
just buy
guitar
a
with a
V-neck guitar.
V-neck.
Yeah.
You can just buy another neck.
Well, yeah,
Right.
either way.
Or maybe-
But yeah,
With or
just
without
buy
a
another
dicky.
guitar. It's okay to have another guitar.
With or without a dicky on it.
Or build a double neck, so you have one
And
with
one's
a
with
C
a
shape and a
V
V
and
neck.
Yeah, and then you can really decide
Right,
which one you
exactly.
like the best.
Then when
Yeah.
you get tested, you say, I don't
Go
like
back
the
and
C,
forth. Yeah.
chainsaw in half, and then just keep the
Yeah.
V neck
Yeah.
part.
Someone wants to know if you can build a modern double neck.
Fucking A, we can.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be a good.
All it takes
candidate.
is money.
It's not going to be very fast either.
And I have a secret stash of White Limba, aka Karina.
Mhm.
So if anybody wants a
Yeah.
modern,
Oh, this is a good suggestion.
And I think a lot of people today don't really know as much about Mike Learn as they should. You should look him up. Look at his artwork. He is a master painter.
we know
His stuff
about
is
Mike
really
because
cool.
we
I
live
like the
next
master
to
paint.
Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was hoping
Yeah.
someone was gonna take that.
Uh-huh.
You want Elvira and Cheech?
Yeah, can we get Brett wants Elvira and Cheech.
Yeah, we don't
I
want.
could do that.
We want but just both of those. We don't want Sean.
We don't want Sean, we want Elvira and Cheech.
I'd do that for you, Brad.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't, quit fucking around and go to MikeLearn.com.
Yeah.
Look at, I actually, not everyone knows this, not because I'm like a super special dude, but Mike Learn has his own line of airbrushes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 of them because Mrs. Texas Toast has a Learn airbrush and I have a Learn airbrush. I had to pay for them too.
I didn't pay for shit.
No, I had to pay for mine though. Yeah, but I got a little bit of a deal.
We bartered.
Yeah.
We did it old school, like Little
Yeah.
House on
But-
the Prairie shit.
but you have-
Yeah.
But it's like, not only does Mike know how to airbrush, he literally wrote the fucking book on airbrushing.
And somebody
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
buy this.
Which one?
Mm-hmm.
The project guitars I fucking hate. My homework is
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate it so
It's awesome. It's an awesome guitar.
Yeah.
The blue one.
Much
Yeah.
love from the Philippines. Excelente.
But yeah, Mike should ballyhoo himself more.
Yeah, come on, ballyhoo
Yeah,
yourself.
ballyhoo.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, bally.
I just like to let my work speak
More
for
Valley
itself.
West.
And it does. It does.
I don't. I
But,
honestly,
yeah.
I'm not the biggest at tooting my own horn. I probably should.
Yeah,
as far as a
yeah.
marketing standpoint, but
I
I
painted some guitars for the Grateful Dead.
No shit, the Grateful Dead, and
How
I did that.
many
I did
guitars?
the Megadeth album cover, and
Yeah,
I know the guys
yeah.
from.
Oh,
Def Leppard.
$10 million.
And I met with
Grateful
Dave
Dead
Mustaine
guitars.
at Wayne Newton's fucking.
Yeah, no shit, I'm hanging out with Wayne Newton and the fucking
Yeah, come on, Mike. I want to know why
He'd
we
be
haven't
like,
gotten
check me out
Wayne
here,
Newton.
hashtag this and fucking add this shit. Come on.
I don't have the
Look it
time
up.
for it, man. Honestly, man. This is probably the most exposure I'll get here in the next year.
Oh, you're gonna get
Expose yourself,
tens
then.
of people that
Expose
watch this.
You will be answering so many emails on how much
At
does
least-
it cost.
at
Never
least
taking
3
it
or
back
4
from them
times.
ever again.
You're gonna be answering so many email on
Oh,
this.
I'll come back as soon as I get a chance
How
to
much?
recuperate from the
Yeah.
emails.
Email.
And we'll do a follow up from the emails that I received.
Whenever
from
you want to come over, if
Zero
you just
on
want to
this?
hang out, or if you want to do a live thing, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
We can do,
Yeah.
whatever we want to do.
Well, we should do a guitar where maybe we tag team some artwork on a surface. I'll come down and pinstripe, get Carrie in with a brush in her hand.
Yeah,
We
we
could
can
do
do
it
that.
live.
We'll do everything but pinstriping or
Yeah.
Wait a
some
minute,
sort of
I have a
graphic,
great
and,
idea,
and
All
then
right.
we'll button it up.
Okay.
and Ike
Yeah,
knows what
that'd
I'm
be
talking
great.
about. What if we did the flip side, learn Texas Toast combo? All
flip toast?
3 things would be the flip toast,
It's
the
learn
flip
to
learn,
flip toast.
Oh.
learn to flip toast.
Hey, we could even do a painted neck on a maple fretboard and do the pinstriping so it goes all the way down through the freaking neck.
You're gonna have to wipe the screen off after you see that one.
Yeah,
He's got a towel.
We'll do all the easy stuff, and then Mike will come.
Yeah,
over
Mike
and
will
make
come
a
over and be like,
badass, and then
"It's
we'll button it up,
awesome."
and we'll totally take all credit for it.
That'd be
It's a
great.
real groin
I
grabber.
love that. I would totally love that.
That would
That's
be
why
really,
I
really
send you
fun.
guys the white guitar paint jobs.
Yeah, yeah. We'll even paint it white to start.
When we did the white double neck for Jim Fuller, he's like, I know you guys didn't want to do white because it's so boring, and we're like, it's not that it was so boring, it's because it's so fucking hard to get right. Yeah.
Mhm. Very, very.
And
good
by the way,
stuff.
that guitar looks awesome as fuck. Yeah, yeah.
That was a
It's
cool act.
still- yeah.
I have one guy, I got to mention this because we're talking about white guitars. I had this guy contact me and he goes, dude, I just spent the last hour looking through your website. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. I've got a guitar for you, man. Can you paint it white? He goes, I saw your work and I thought for sure, after seeing your work, man, you're going to just
How about
nail that
tan?
white paint job. And I'm like, oh, man. You got Matt Flaherty's number?
yeah. Call Matt at Texas Toast. He'll say he doesn't want to do it,
When he
Chris,
does.
Yeah, keep-
But
and then
he
gives
won't
him
do it.
Chris's
Chris
number.
will, yeah.
but keep calling. Just
The-
keep badgering it.
The funny part about that is there's no limit to people who will say it's cool.
Mhm.
The problem is people who are willing to throw money at it. Yeah. There's always the flashlight guitar, the guitar shaped like a dick, the RD. Yeah, there's no shortage of people who say that's awesome. The shortage is the people who are willing to go shut up and take my money. Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly.
Sounds right.
It's a good rap.
All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. And if you have any questions for Mike that you didn't get answered, we'll send them to learnguitars.com. Do we have anything else?
MikeLearn.com.
MikeLearn.com. I'm sorry.
Or
Mike
Learn
Learn.com.
Guitars will take you there too. It doesn't matter.
So
Just Google Mike Learn, whatever.
we're an
Google that shit.
hour and 28 minutes in, and this was a lot of fun. Mike, thanks for
Hey,
stopping by the
My
shop.
pleasure, brother.
And
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, man.
and we already shit the bed on the thing.
What happened?
Well,
Just
no,
disconnect.
He
I-
did it. He
yeah.
closed it.
Monkey.
Hey, that's just the feed. You gotta
Fucking
stop the
monkey.
broadcast.
Monkey, no, it's still all right. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks
And
for having
next time it's going to be Chris and I, Wild West, on your questions. And the time after that, we're going to have another special guest, and that special guest is going to be Brian Nutter from Nutter Guitars.
Sweet.
So
Another guy that everybody needs to do a little homework on Brian Nutter before we do it.
Agreed.
Because he's
Yeah.
another guy that
Keep
you're
your
like,
shit together,
you did
man. This
what?
is summer reading.
you did what?
list.
Holy cow. Yeah, it's a summer reading
Little
list.
homework.
It's like 5 minutes. You Google Brian Nutter and you go, oh, wow, he did that. Okay,
Or you
cool.
could read The Outsiders like I
Yeah.
did for myself.
So this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar. I stole that from Mike.
And
Thanks, buddy.
what was the other one you used to use?
Build it yourself.
Oh,
You're so smart. Know
yeah,
yourself.
right. That one. There you go.
Get entrance.
That's a
I
wrap.
don't know how to do that. I got to pee. If I stand up too fast, it'll do the thing.